What is up, guys? It's your boy Dankbot003 back at it with another video. So today I just finished playing in the remote duel YCS. It was my first YCS, and I actually made it today too. Playing nothing else but Virtual Worlds. As you guys know, one of my favorite decks to play in big events. Next week I have the remote duel qualifier or remote duel invitational qualifier, and I'm not sure if I will be using virtual worlds, but it's very likely that I will. I just wanted to bring a deck profile of my virtual world deck for the YCS, talk about my matchups and how I feel about this deck during this current format. It was my first bigger event this format, and I honestly feel like it went well. I didn't top, but I made it today too, so I'm satisfied. I went X-3, and yeah, without further ado, first I'm going to give you guys, of course, the deck profile, and then for those of you that want to stick around and hear about the event and how I feel about the deck, that will be after the deck profile. So of course, first we are running 3 Lulus. Standard, not much to say there. If you've seen my other videos, you know my ratios. 3 Gigi, 3 Laos, 3 Lili, and 2 Yang Yangs. I've recently decided to cut Tao Tao because it doesn't really do too much to advance my advantage. And I can do about every combo without Tao Tao. So, yeah, I just decided this was the perfect ratio to play. For the hand traps, I played 3 Ghost Spells, 3 Ash Blossom, and a card I have not played in a while, but I decided to put it in because I just don't like getting ashed on my city. 3 Gammas, 1 Driver. I mean, not really too much to explain. Gamma is Gamma, Ash is Ash, Bell is Bell. They just, this lineup right here hits about every deck. Then that's it for the monsters. For the spells, I played 3 Cities, 3 Qinglongs, 3 Desires. And then another card that I used to play that I added back is 2 Foolish Burial Goods, just for consistency, and to help combo. And I mean, if you don't need it, it just becomes discard fodder, which helps in this deck having discard fodder. And the last 2 spells, one called by, one E-Telly, called by just to stop hand traps because I don't like hand traps, and E-Telly as just an extender. Another thing that you guys seen about my last remote duel profile with this deck is E-Telly for Yang is just a quick rank 3 to make a Zeus. This is just awesome. I love it. Next for the last 3 of the main deck, the traps, 2 Chuche, 1 Shangwu. I took out the there can only be 1s. I just feel like it wasn't doing too much, and it made me play not as well as I wanted to. But that's it for the main deck, guys. I think it's pretty standard, self-explanatory. It performed very well. Sadly, I kind of bricked in some of my matches, which caused me to lose, but whenever I didn't brick, I was winning, even if I lost a die roll. So next, I will cover the extra deck. 1 Break Sword, 1 Fan, 1 M7, and 1 Zeus. I switched out the Gossip Shadow for the Break Sword because I just feel like Break Sword can help break boards, and you keep a material. It can also help you pop your Qinglongs. So let's say you city into a Qinglong, negate a card effect that is problematic. Break Sword, pop your Qinglong, you get the search, and you will make Zeus with 2 materials afterwards. M7 and Fan, just self-explanatory. This can help get resources back. Spot removal, Fan as well is very good in this format. Also, another thing that I like about Fan is I can make it with 3 materials, then detach 2 for the effect, and still have one material to drop Zeus on top of that, and then Zeus is just Zeus. That's it for the XYZ monsters. Next for my synchro monsters, first I'm going to show you the level 6s. Muddy Mud Dragon, Stardust Charge, Coral Dragon, and Juju. I just feel like this is the perfect level 6 lineup. Muddy Mud Dragon, I was playing without him for a time, but now with another card that I'm playing in my extra deck, I feel like he's just really good in a lot of matchups. But yeah, these three are just standard, not much to say about those. That's it for my level 6s. Next, I'm playing one Croco Dragon, Vermilion, Shen, and then the card that I like with Muddy Mud is Hot Red, then Zolkin, and Crystal Wing. Standard package right here. Honestly, the Croco Dragon I will probably take out of the deck. I'm also probably going to remove the Break Sword for a Fortune Tune. But yeah, this I only went into it once, and I don't really feel like it's needed. And it's just another spot for another card I could have used. I could have used Gaia Thunder Charger, or I mean just anything. I could have used the Geomath Mech guy. I mean it helped in the situation that I used it, but I only used it once in 11 rounds. Next I played one Invoke Kaliga. Just stops combo decks. This is a win condition against Drytron. There's not much they can do against this. The only Drytron that outed this today had to do their card effect by tributing Benten, so I'm already ahead because they don't get Benten. Normal summon Valor, so I didn't have to worry about Valor. They made Mubeda, tried to attack over. I Chuche Pop and keep this, and I'm just winning with this card on field. Whenever you summon this against Drytron, it's almost an auto win. Next for the side deck, I chose to play one Game of Seal. In theory, well, first off, I only played this because I didn't have Cycle Readers, but honestly, I did not miss the Cycle Readers. So one Kaiju just for the Ignister matchup, which I never played against, but just to get rid of problematic monsters, any rogue deck playing Dragoon, anything like that, any deck trying to make unbreakable boards. That was the theory behind just playing one of this, because I can draw into it, and I also have other cards, so I didn't want to play more than one just because the space isn't that well, and I don't want to draw multiples of him. Next, I play 3 Nibs for basically any combo deck. Nib came in kind of handy. I didn't really see him too much. Then next I played 2 Skullmeisters. Skullmeister definitely put in a lot of work today. He was just awesome. I'll probably keep running him. Next I played 3 Drolls. Sadly, I never saw Droll, except I think once versus Sky Strikers, but that was the only time. Joel is pretty good though. Next I played 3 Twin just for back row decks. 1 Imperial and 2 Spell Fragrance. I didn't really have to use these all day because I didn't get the chance, because usually I would win game 1, next game I'm going second, and I didn't really get a chance to play it. But yep, that is it for the deck profile. Pretty standard besides the side deck. I have a couple tech choices in there. But yeah, then let's talk about how the tournament actually went. So I have my matchups written down. So round 1, I played against Sky Striker. I won 2-0 against them. The Sky Striker matchup against this deck is honestly pretty easy. Yeah, there's like very little way you lose. Shen just is an auto win against them, because you just start getting so much advantage against them just by having that one monster on board. It's crazy. Round 2, I played another Sky Striker and won. Round 3, I played a Phantom Knight. I won against them as well. The Phantom Knight matchup again is, I feel like it's pretty easy. Like any deck that plays with their graveyard, you have a very easy matchup against them. Then round 4, I played against Prank Kids. I also won against them. Round 5, I played a Tri, and I won against them. Tri Brigade matchup is pretty easy as well. Round 6, I played against another Tri Brigade, and I lost against them. Round 7, I played against a Sky Striker True Draco deck. Really caught me off guard. Like at first, I thought I was playing against True Draco, and then in his next turn, he activates Area 0, and yeah, he caught me really off guard. But he was a cool guy. I won against him. Then round 8, I played another Tri Brigade, won. Then during round 9, I played a Drytron, and I won that matchup. I think we went to game 3, and I was able to OTK him. Then, sadly, round 10, I played against another Tri Brigade. I lost there. And round 11, the spiciest matchup I had. I played against Machina and Finitrack, and I actually lost there 2-0. Yeah, that deck can be pretty hard because everything is going to their graveyard and they're just gaining so much card advantage. Like, this man went through like 10 cards and he still had 6 cards in hand. So, yeah, that matchup was just very hard for me because, like, he went first. I managed to break his board, but he just still had so many cards in hand. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, they can combo off and then end their turn with 6 cards in hand. And it's just ridiculous. And the guy had Duel every time I searched Lulu off Qinglong. He was dropping Duel. There wasn't much I could do. He also every time had Ash for my city. Yeah, there's just not much to say. That he had everything, plus his deck just builds so much card advantage that I can't keep up. And that is the last round I played. I honestly feel like Virtual World is still one of the best decks of the format. I honestly feel like I could have topped if I would have practiced more and played a little bit better and would have been more prepared. But I didn't really prepare that much. I practiced like the 3 days before, but like I work a lot and I have kids, so I didn't get to prepare as well as I wanted to, but I still feel like I played very well. And it was my first YCS. I played against a lot of good players. Shout out to everybody I played against. It was just an amazing experience. Do I prefer this over in person? No, I don't. Definitely prefer in-person tournaments because there's just a lot of ways people can just, do scumbag things and get away with it through remote duels. But, I mean, all in all, I'm satisfied. I feel like the deck just was amazing. I don't think I would change anything besides a couple cards in the extra that I talked about. Honestly, Virtual World will definitely be one of the top decks this format. I'm sure there's other Virtual Worlds that got into the top. I know there was a couple that went into day 2. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more testing with this deck and probably playing this in the Invitational Qualifier. I just feel like this deck just, like, against Tri Brigade, it has a good matchup. Sky Strikers, Prank Kids, Drytrons, what else? Salad, Invoke, Dogmatica, Shadol decks. It just has, like, a awesome matchup against every deck. It's cheap. it can keep up with even the rogue decks. It's just like insane the advantage that Ascension can get you. Plus just being able to draw so many cards with your other synchro monsters. And just like the easy access into Kaliga just kills the combo decks. I just feel like this deck won't die, and it'll only get stronger once that new rank 6 comes out. But yeah. Also, what am I forgetting? What was I talking about? Sorry about that. Oh, yeah. So, the matchups, yeah, it just has, like, an amazing matchup against everything. I feel like the way you lose with this deck, though, is, first off, if your opponent hand traps you at the right moment, they can just stop you completely. But, yeah, like, your opponent has to play very well technically and just very precise with all of his plays to be able to beat this deck. And I just feel like if you're a good player playing Virtual Worlds, you'll definitely go far. Just like the matchups are good. The skill required to play it, I wouldn't say it's very high, but you do need skill and need to know how to play differently against all decks, because against every deck you're not going to play the same. But you can definitely put this deck as like one of the top competing decks of the format. The honestly, I just feel like the only way you lose is if you're playing against a better player. If not, they're not gonna win just because they have a better deck, or just because they have a deck that tops more. That's just not the way you beat Virtual Worlds. To beat Virtual Worlds, you need to play almost perfectly. You need to cut Virtual Worlds' advantage completely. You just need to stop them before they pop off, because it has a good matchup. It has a good grind game. It can OTK. It can play the control without having to play traps, which is amazing. It's just a very well designed all around deck. Definitely one of my favorite decks of all time. I hope you guys enjoy this video, enjoy the deck profile, and maybe test the deck out for yourself and see how strong it is. If you guys have any questions, you can leave that down in the comments. I'll definitely answer those. And without further ado, guys, leave a like. It really helps out. Subscribe if you want. I'm not going to force you to subscribe, but if you like this type of content and you like Virtual Worlds, definitely subscribe. I will have a lot more deck profiles coming soon. And without further ado, DankBot003 signing out.